guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, igama lami nguZakithi Konjo. Others known me, others know me as the Zulu Nigerian. Yeah, but I think I need a new introduction because obviously there's a lot that has happened, a lot has changed. I have changed. I'd like to call myself Umlungomnyam. I don't know, but we'll get into that later. For now, I want to talk about vitiligo. I want to talk about my skin, how it has changed, how I have changed. I haven't been on here for over 2 years, I think, because I've been going through this radical change in my life that I didn't expect. This radical change that has changed me. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad my confidence is back. I'm glad I can sit in front of the camera and record this for you. I missed you guys. I missed YouTube. I missed recording. I missed sharing my opinions on everything. I missed just being comfortable in my skin and being free and confident, not being insecure, not having anxiety. And there's a point where I couldn't sit in front of the camera because I just felt like the camera wasn't even capturing me correctly or properly. It would make my skin, I would look just so much lighter and it would just frustrate me. So I really thank God for today that I'm able to sit in front of you confidently and share my journey, share my truth, share my the roller coaster that I've been on. But yeah, sit tight because this is gonna be a long one. But I hope that you sit and really just give me your heart and your ear, and because I'm gonna be pouring out from my heart. Okay, so please don't mind me if I look down. I'm just looking down at my notes. But yeah, let me just start with reading something that I wrote down. I said, sometimes what you think is a curse may in fact be a blessing. How many times have you gone through the roughest seas and still made it? While you go through the storm, really things don't seem like they will get better. But if you know anything about seasons, you'll remember that nothing is permanent. I think I needed to hear this when my vitiligo started. I needed to understand that I was going through a transition. I wasn't gonna be stuck in one place. It wasn't gonna be dark always. Morning was gonna come, dawn was gonna come, the sun was gonna shine again. But during that phase where my skin started to change, I didn't think I would be okay. I didn't think it would pass. I just thought, I'm just entering a pit, and this pit, there's no way of getting out of it. I just didn't see any positive. I didn't see anything that could possibly make things better. I didn't see the possibilities of tomorrow. I didn't see anything. I didn't have any positivity in me. I didn't think there'd be a ray of sunshine. I didn't see the rainbow. I didn't see the but I'm really grateful for today. I'm really, really grateful for 2025. Well, not just 2025, but just the constant growth, because I'm just grateful that I can sit in front of this camera, like I said in my intro, because I remember when I couldn't even sit in front of the camera. I'd record for 10 seconds, I would hate it, and then I would just stop because I just didn't like looking at myself. I just hated myself. I even preferred people to see me face to face than to see the video, because the video, I felt like it wasn't really showing me. Ebo, it wasn't capturing my true essence, not my true essence. It wasn't just showing the real me that I felt like I looked lighter. I felt like it didn't. Oh, guys, I hated the camera and maybe the camera was actually okay, but because I was in such a bad space, negative space, I just couldn't see anything positive or anything nice about myself at that time. And then after the storm, we often forget about it quickly, you know. But I think we shouldn't forget the turmoil. We should keep it vividly in our minds to help us appreciate where we are now. You know, when I'm having a bad day, guys, I literally go through my pictures and I see how I looked while I was transitioning into who I am now, while the changes were happening. And it instantly makes me grateful. I'm instantly grateful, Guti. Sengila, I didn't think I'd be here because I'm so confident in myself now. I'm so confident in the skin I'm in. My self-esteem is on 100. Right? So whenever I just feel like, or something is just not okay, or I'm feeling I'm ungrateful, or I just need a reminder. This is I just go through my gallery. I just go through my pictures and I'm like, sis, look at where you were. Look at look at where you are now. So sometimes we are quick to forget. Yes, we mustn't dwell on the bad. Definitely not. But I don't think it's a good thing to forget, because I feel like we also undermine the good things that God does in our lives. If we remember ukuthi usithathe kuphi, usithwale kangakanani, when we were going through things, I think we'd live in we'd be happier as people, because as individuals, because we know ukuthi even if another storm comes, usazosithwala futhi uNkulunkulu because usithwalile. So I think we mustn't be quick to forget the where we were coming from. But yeah, all I have to say is that, guys, change, change is not easy. Change is not easy. Change has shown me flames upon flames upon flames. Hey, kunzima ukushintsha. Change is difficult. It's difficult. I remember watching my skin change every day. I think that was one of the hardest things as well, because not knowing what I'm gonna look like tomorrow, not knowing what the future me or the end goal or the end Zagiti will look like, was terrifying, because even at that point, I didn't like my skin anyway. I didn't like how I was looking. I didn't like anything. So I didn't have really a positive, oh, maybe I could actually still look pretty. I didn't have that. I just thought, way bad. Way bagit. Yeah, so that was a difficult part for me. Every day I'd wake up, look in the mirror. I'm like, hey, oh, there's a new spot, there's a new patch, there's a new this, guys, it wasn't nice. It wasn't nice. And I think to myself, why me? But then why not me? Why life is just weird. But it was hard because changing in front of an audience is not easy. I think private change is better. It gives people an opportunity to rebuild their self-esteem or whatever, come out, say be strong, say be right. But when you're going through all the changes in front of people, that was hard. That was very difficult for me. Ngoba nje, everyone's opinions, people stares, I think, traumatized me so much. People would just stare. Abantu bazokubuka, like, yeah, you know. But that was definitely the hardest part of the journey, the constant change, the not knowing what the final product will look like. Even now, I don't know what the final product will look like because I don't know if my vitiligo will still progress. I don't know if it's, for now, I think it's on a pause. Yeah, but I don't know if it will continue. I don't know how much it will progress, if it does progress. Yeah, but so still, I still live in a in a year or two. Will I be fully light skin? Will I be white? Will I be this? Will I be that? Will I have any brown pigment left? Ngizobe senginjani? I still have those questions, but I think I'm in a better, healthier mindset, stronger, you know. Gee, yeah. So it's not all bad. It's not all bad at all for me right now. There was a point in my life where I would literally wear layers, thick layers of makeup, thick layers of makeup. It would take me 2 hours to get ready if I needed to leave the house, because I needed to make sure I'm covered, all my spots are covered. I feel confident. I you know, and all of this was just because of how people used to stare. I would ask myself ukuthi kanti mina ngenzeni ukuthi ngize ngibe nalento ezongenza ukuthi abantu bangibuke kanje. What did I do for me to get this thing that makes people stare at me so much? It was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable going out. It was a mission. Most days I didn't want to go out anyway because I was just like uneasy, like so people can keep looking and some will point. Yes, not often, but when people are looking at you, it wasn't nice at all. And if you know anything about people, ukuthi abantu bazokubuka sis, abantu, they will stare unapologetically, so they will look at you. Abanye bazoze keep it, somebody would literally take off their sunglasses. There's a point where I would also just be on some umbugani, like I'd stare back, because it was just getting out of hand. Especially in Nigeria, people would really stare a lot. I'm just like, can these people calm the F down? Because it was a lot. But I think it also comes from a place of not knowing what the skin condition is, a place of little understanding and knowledge about it, and that's not and I'm not blaming them, because generally the awareness on what vitiligo is very low. I didn't know much about it until it started. Kimina. Yes, I've seen a few people with vitiligo. I've seen some albinos, but I didn't know what causes it. I didn't know if it's painful or not. I didn't know what they go through. I didn't know anything. I just knew it's okay. Some people just have like lighter skin. I didn't know what it was called, So there's that. I think the only person in South Africa we can all refer to is Leleti Khumalo, the actress, because for me, she's the only celebrity who's been in the industry, and who embraces her vitiligo, or has been embracing it for the longest time. She's the only person I can point to. Then recently, maybe over the past 3-4 years, there's been like 3-4-5 influencers. That Yolanda from Big Brother. There's Uboy Tumelo. She's an influencer. I went to university with her, and she had vitiligo then as well in university. Then there is, I think, one guy, the Great Don or something. He's half Nigerian, half South African. He's a model. And then what? And then there's just us. Then there's just the normal everyday person. Who do we look up to? Who's representing us? Who's speaking for us? Who is the the 10-year-old boy looking up to? Who is the 13-year-old Indian girl looking up to? Who am I as a 32-year-old looking up to? Who's representing us in skincare, in fashion, in whatever, beauty, in content creation, whatever is trending now? Who's representing us? Who's filling in that gap for us, who's showing us the skincare routines? Nobody. I don't have anybody who has vitiligo, that has like a who's a celebrity, who, hey, I don't have anyone that I look up to. I don't have anyone I can check for skincare routine. I don't have anyone I can check for good sunscreens, makeup recommendations, there's nobody. And I'm hoping that maybe I can change that narrative and be that for other people, because you go through social media, you almost see the perfect person. But emhlabeni, we all know nobody's perfect. Everyone is going through it. Everyone is going through something. And we need to cut the false narratives of perfection, because there isn't no such a thing. Social media has taught us, if you are wise, we've seen that not all that's gold. What's that? Not all gold glitters or whatever, you know, because people are living fake life. Yeah, so we need. I want to be. I want to fill that gap. I want to be the person that I needed when my skin started changing. I didn't hear any stories of like encouragement online, barely none. It's mostly Americans that have like a voice, that have platforms, blogs, Facebook groups, support groups, etc. But even with the Facebook groups, it's not support, emotional support. I'm not saying there aren't any, but the ones I've come across were how to treat vitiligo, how to hide, how to hide, how to heal, how to treat it, how to reverse it, blah blah blah. There weren't any embracing. Let's just embrace it, because essentially vitiligo isn't painful. um yes, losing the pigment exposes us to skin cancer if we expose ourselves to sun and those elements, but generally it's not painful. It's just the loss of pigments, the loss of color. Do you know what I mean? So where are those platforms? So where's the awareness in South Africa? Fun, positive awareness, not hey, let's sit in a boardroom and discuss this thing as if it's chronic disease or uh, a, you know, guys, I feel like if we had people that we looked up to, yes, there's the Winnie Harlows, but I mean, she's an international model living her best life. We're not all gonna be models, we're not all gonna be celebrities because we are different, but we need more faces. We need to be represented more. Representation matters. Representation matters so much. I feel like I would have also handled my change better if I knew Uguti. Oh, but look at Umbali, for example. She's handling this so well. She's sharing her journey. She's encouraging us, you know. I wouldn't feel like the odd one out. I wouldn't feel like, because I would know that I'm part of, yes, we are a minority. I think there's like 2% of us. I don't know. Don't quote me on the stats, but I know there's a small percentage of us, yes, with vitiligo, but within that small percentage, we are still not well represented. That's just where I'm at. Where is that 6-year-old girl? Who is she looking up to? Who has vitiligo? She looks different amongst her peers in school. She looks different in the community. She looks different in her family. Who does she get to look up to? Who does the mother, um, um, who can the mother introduce her to or expose her to say, see, my baby, you aren't alone. These are people who look at this person. She's a successful doctor, or whatever the case may be. who are the role models? You know, I think we aren't well represented. Yeah, my lap. But anyway, we'll get to that, you know. So guys, I would do makeup almost 2 hours. Some days I'd still wipe it off after the 2 hours. Do you know how much money I spent on foundations? I legit, I don't even want to lie, I legit would have about maybe 10 foundations at a time. I'd have one in the car, in my handbag, toiletry bag. Everywhere I go, I had foundation and makeup brushes because I could never be caught off guard. What if my makeup sweats off? And being in Nigeria, I think, was just almost traumatic because it is so hot. So vele, I'm thinking, oh, it's gonna melt off, I'm gonna sweat. Then it's normal for people to sweat. Obviously, makeup, we all sweat and stuff. But if your skin is normal, it's fine. It's not a train smash. Me, and I'm gonna sweat and then I'm gonna be white. And then the rest of my face. Gee, no. Guys. Shame. I don't wanna, you know. And then I think the questions that I would get from strangers, again, mostly in Nigeria. Did you burn? Is it acid? Is it fire? What happened? Some girls, I bumped into them at ShopRite through shopping. So we were by the cosmetics, ne? Or soap. I don't remember. I think soap or body lotion, whatever. So I was holding one soap and just checking it out. And then they started whispering like bleaching went wrong, you know. So they were like saying, they won't take the same product that I'm taking because what if that's the product that has changed my skin? I was just like, how doof. Like, it was mean, but also I think it because I understood that it comes from a place of zero knowledge on this subject. And I did look very patchy and ashy, and you know, I almost don't blame them for thinking it could have been a product I used. Maybe they thought I was really bleaching. But I heard that I'm already insecure. I'm trying my best. And that's when I was really trying to just go out into public bare with no makeup, you know, and then you get and hear comments like that. It's very demotivating. I was just like being happy. I just want to hide under my shell, under the rock, and not come out, you know. Kuningi, guys, I don't even know where to start. I'm going here, I'm going there, but it's been long overdue. It's been such a long journey. It's been overwhelming. I don't think there's anything I haven't felt emotion wise in the past 2-3 years, you know. At some point I actually did prefer people asking me questions than the staring, because there's a lot of people, guys, in Nigeria, everywhere. There's just a lot of people everywhere. So imagine everyone like staring and looking again, looking away. Oh, there she is. Oh, bored, boring, like annoying, annoying. Um, but today, I, my mindset has changed on a lot of things, and I'll say it later on in the video. But I think that was the journey, and I can't determine ukuthi ihamba kanjani. I'm just glad sengidlulile lapho, because it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I don't know if you can see that I'm already turning a bit pink, reddish, you know, T-zone, cheeks. That's how I just get pink. If I'm flustered, if I'm hot, if I'm drinking alcohol, if the weather's too hot, if I'm overly excited. Guys, abumnandi. I'm just like those white girls who blush and get red. Oh my goodness. I literally need to center myself and just be calm from inside and just, you know, Given a resting B face, you know, given you, if I don't wanna be red and pink. But who lives a life that I wanna show emotion, I wanna be excited, I wanna be happy, I wanna jump, I wanna pinky pink. Pinky pinky. This part is hard. I think I just wanna read it. I wanna read it for you guys. The most difficult part for me through this entire roller coaster of change was thinking, my husband's wife is changing. This isn't the wife my husband ordered. The anxiety of not knowing if he would change, if he would leave, if he would fall out of love with me. If he would not find me attractive and beautiful anymore. Gosh, I went through the most emotionally. And the part that sucks the most is that I had nobody to share it with because nobody could relate. You know, it's very different when you share something with somebody who isn't in the same shoes, who you know, people can only sympathize with you and encourage you and try to make you feel confident again, speak a good word over your life. But if you haven't been through the same thing, in fact, I don't think there are any two people in the world that can go through the same pain. Excuse me. Because even if we lose a parent, for example, we don't feel the same pain because our relationships were different. No matter how much the parents may have treated everybody equally, but the level of love, the level of commitment and relationship between the two can never be the same with the next person, you know. So even if I spoke to somebody who has vitiligo, they could relate, I'm sure, to a certain extent. But what if they are naturally confident people? What if they are naturally beautiful, more beautiful? What if the vitiligo suits them better? So I had nobody to speak to who would understand, you know. And I think most of the time I just try to be strong, because even in my family, I'm that chick, I'm the strong one, you know. So I think it's very hard for me to show weakness, to break down, and I don't. I think I've only cried once in front of my sister, but I don't recall. Okay, maybe twice. I think twice maximum in front of like my family and siblings. I'm not that person, you know. I'm the encourager. I'm the one that, you know, speaks a good, you know. I'm not the one that breaks down and cries. So it was hard for me also during this change. I still built up a wall so that people would think I'm fine, even though I wasn't. Hey, never have I cried so much during this change. Hey, ngaze ngakhala. I would weep. I would ukhala. That's how much I used to cry, you know. But in private, on my own or with my husband has really carried me. You know, he has really, 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 really carried me. Yeah. So nobody could relate either way, you know. And when people are encouraging you, you don't know if it's like pity, if they're giving you a pity compliment so that you can just cheer up, or if they're really genuine. You know, it was very hard for me to distinguish if this compliment is sincere, or if someone is just trying to, you know, make me feel better and they don't really mean it, you know. My self-esteem, my low self-esteem, sky high. I cried over everything, every little thing. I was easily triggered. I would literally ask my husband, do you want some tea? If he said no in the wrong way or wrong tone, I would start crying. I would I was projecting so much. And he's just like, no, I don't want tea. Now, what's wrong? Even if I don't want tea at all, ever, why are you crying? Like, hey, shame. Shame. He went through a lot, you know. I didn't want to go to any functions. I didn't want to go into any events because I was just like, I'm not ready for the staring. I'm not ready for the preparation. You know, even if I'm getting a makeup artist, I need to prep them before, tell them, because they'd also be like, where do I start? Either they get it wrong, you know, they make me too dark, or they just don't get it right. Sometimes, you know, they'd nail it. But I think they started nailing it nami when I knew how to do my makeup. So I'd give them tips before they start. So this is how I normally do it. Then they would also, you know, do. But you guys, I'd also be so anxious. Okay, when I get to the function, my hands are showing, my arms are showing, or somewhere else, my legs or something. Now people are going to be saying, what's wrong with her? Or hey, or whatever. Or my husband now needs to explain. Oh no, my guys, shame. You know. I've realized that I actually owe my husband so much. I owe him a big thank you. I owe him a big thank you. And if you are watching, I know he's gonna watch. Thank you, baby, for being a man of your word, for being a man of integrity, for being my comforter when I needed the most. Let me read what I wrote. My husband, bless his soul, was a champion. What a guy. What a man. The best of the best. Masikhuluma ngabantu who won in the husband department. Me. The love, the reassurance, the kindness, being present when I would weep and weep, not giving up on me, loving me more with every single spot that appeared. He nicknamed me his white girl, my white girl, my white gal, you know, only after I was accepting of the change and making peace with it. He's like, my white gal, I get best of both worlds, you know. He was just so funny about it, but it came from a good place. I knew he was being genuine, you know. That's why it's so important to build solid relationships, guys. A solid foundation. If my man was all about outer looks and didn't care about our actual connection and everything we've built throughout the years, just our foundation, our relationship, man, you know, nothing today, you know. If you didn't care about our actual connection and the love we have and the famous inner beauty, I don't know where I'd literally be today in my marriage, in my relationship with him. I don't know. The efforts we've put into each other, all those things go a long way. You know, I literally thank God for him. Honestly, I don't think I thank him enough. Now I realize that I was going through change, but he was also going through change. He was watching his wife, the wife of his youth, change into the unknown, because he also didn't know. Do you understand how he might have been thinking if he goes on Google and checks vitiligo? And trust me, if you Google vitiligo, the pictures that show up never flattering. They are never flattering. They just make you the worst. But yeah. Hi, Nakia. Yabo, the worst. J. You know? So I was just wondering, was it he would have also been very scared, perhaps, but he didn't show that fear or whatever feelings that he went through. He really, really handled them well, because he never, ever made me feel like, sis, you're not the same. You're not what I ordered. You're not the wife I ordered, and I'm not happy about this anymore. Never, you know. So for that, Jay, I owe him the world, because I was really going through a tough time. So if he had just changed even a bit, I would have definitely noticed. I would have definitely felt it. There's a saying I saw somewhere, I think about mothers who give birth, that they always remember how people treated them during, I don't know if it's birth or after birth. I definitely would have noticed as well, because I remember how everyone treated me during that time. Good or bad, the stares, the looks, the compliments, the love, the gonk. I remember it all. So I'm so grateful. Honestly, so grateful. He's really been my pillar. So thank you, baby, for being my pillar and never, ever, ever offending me at my lowest. I also remember thinking about my husband's friends and how he would have to explain to everyone what's happening with his wife. Who knows the comments of others if they wouldn't affect him and his influence him against me. What God joined together. What God joined together, guys, let no man put asunder. And I think I really don't know, have the right words to really express how grateful I am for him, for just being the best guy in that situation for me. I thank God the season of uncertainty, anxiety, and fear has passed. Guys, even when we are unfaithful and not yeah, God is good all the time, even when we are not worthy. There's something I saw on TikTok that said something about when you realize that God carried you even when you weren't even speaking with him. I was just like, because I was angry. I don't even remember praying, because I'm already thinking, why did you let this happen? I was not about that. I wasn't praying. I wasn't, you know but I thank him for today. Guys, having a disorder or a sickness or a disease that is visible is not nice. There's a point where I actually wished I had like AIDS, HIV or AIDS, something that isn't visible, because at least lapaya, it would just be my doctor and maybe family members if I choose to disclose to them. Do you understand? If it's illegal, there's nothing. It doesn't spread. I can't pass it on to. It's not contagious. So it's not contagious. It's not paid for. I'm not even on chronic medication. It's not considered a chronic disease or disorder, whatever. It's just skin pigment changing. But I wished for Ingula's, because I was just like, at least I'd still look the same. And nobody would know what I'm going through. Even if I want to share my story one day, superhero saying, this is my story, living with this, living with that, but nobody would know. But this thing of everyone know, look at her, I wonder what that is. I wonder if it's not contagious. You know, people would try to compliment me and encourage me, but I didn't know if it was genuine. I didn't know if it was a genuine compliment or they were just pitying me, shame, or maybe they could see what I'm feeling down or sad, or maybe they could see the low self-esteem, the anxiety in my eyes and guys. But people would really compliment me, and I just didn't get it. Maybe I couldn't see the diamond in the rough that they were seeing, guys, but I was just like, I think things got better when strangers would compliment me randomly at the mall. I started to feel better about myself. I remember one day, a cashier at Woolworths, she literally asked to touch me and was almost starstruck, telling me how beautiful I was. Last shame, she was so kind, so genuine. You could see Wuti. It's coming from her. She couldn't contain us. I'm like, hey, bro. And she's like, can I touch it? No, no, like, don't touch me. No, 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 no. But, you know, she's like, you're so beautiful. I wish I bo, you wish you had what? You know, but she was just like, oh, sis, you're so beautiful. Jay, your skin, you look pretty. I could tell that the compliment was genuine, but I was just like, about, you know. Let me tell you about my favorite people in this whole change dynamic. Ama2K, love them. Love Ama2K with everything in me. Ama2K, guys, they look once, they don't look again. They look once, they don't look again. If they're looking again, they're gonna say something. Oh, you look cute. Or, oh, you look nice, ma'am. They don't stare, they don't point, they don't show person, they don't say, hey, see, oh, I love Ama2K. Shame, I've never had a weird stare from Ama2K. It's always just like, I ngiyakubuka phela because umuntu, you know, siyabukana phela. But nje, I love Ama2K for me. My niece, so Abusis, she's 10 now. I remember like 2 years ago, she would ask me time and time again, Auntie Zah, why are you wearing makeup? Because you look so beautiful. Why are you covering it up, Auntie Zah? Why? I'm like, God, it doesn't understand what I'm going through, you know? And sometimes it's not even about covering it up, but I would tell her that even when my skin was fine and normal, if it's an occasion, if it's like a wedding or a party, if you want to dress up and glam up, I would do my makeup even when my skin was normal. So I'm like, this is the same. I'm like, okay, we're going to a wedding. I also want to glam up. So am I not allowed to glam up anymore because of my skin condition? Surely not, you know. But she was like so encouraging. She was just like anti-makeup. If she could, she would have thrown my makeup away or hidden it or whatever, just so I could just embrace my skin. And that taught me a lot from a 8-year-old who was saying, hey, boy, you look nice. Just leave the makeup alone. And she wouldn't be impressed with the makeup anyway. She's just like, you look better without the makeup, you know. She was just that girl. I'm like, yo, she doesn't know how much she did for this dog. She doesn't know how much she did for me, you know. In hindsight, I really see she was building my confidence daily. Auntie Zah, no, don't wear makeup. You look pretty like this. Leave it. She'd send me videos of other girls she saw on TikTok, maybe that have vitiligo. Videos might not have been so nice, but I see where she was coming from. You know, she was coming from a point of, you're not alone. Abusiswe would say, yes, queen, whenever I go out barefaced, you know. So she was my little rock. Thank you, Abu. Thank you, my darling. I also remember a friend of mine, Ubongi. Ubongi. She said something that was so profound. That literally got me thinking, and it almost changed my my perspective on on assuming why people are looking at me, assuming, you know, it really helped change things for me in a positive light, you know. She said, did people not look at you before you had vitiligo? And that's such a, because I mean, people did look at me, you know. Now ngiyababuka abantu, I also look at people. So she's like, why do I assume that the stares are negative? And really, why? Why can't I think, oh, people are looking at me because I'm different and I'm cute or I'm so well dressed, you know? She's like, what if they're intrigued about how you look? What if they're looking at your nice outfits? You know? Was I not looking at people too? That was the thing. And I was. I was looking at people. People did look at me before the vitiligo, but I didn't care then because I was normal. I blended in. I looked just like them. So are they now not allowed to look at me because I look different? Then how are they gonna know? How will they learn about the skin condition? How will they learn and say, oh no, I've seen somebody on a vitiligo? That literally changed my thinking. It shifted a lot of things for me, you know. I was like, what if they're just looking at my nice outfit? Hey boo, why did I assume ukuthi nje yo bangibuka kabi? They are saying, look at her, she's so ugly. Oh, look, it was the low self-esteem speaking. It was my low self-esteem. It was the how I was projecting everything that I felt because I didn't feel beautiful to myself. So I thought everybody's gonna be thinking, hey, this one is ugly. I was projecting on the innocent people. Yes, some people said a few snark things like, she's bleaching, I wonder what happened. But, oh, like someone on TikTok said, uvuthiwe. I was just like, you know what? I'm not even gonna entertain nje abantu baka TikTok because not just abantu baka TikTok, just anybody who's coming with a negative comment because firstly you don't even know what's happening. Somebody said, I'm a Nigeria. I'm like, it just shows IQ levels and education levels, you know. So I'm not trying to waste my time and be offended by abantu who wouldn't even get a chance to sit with me or sit in the same room as I, you know. So because it's TikTok, man, you feel like you can just say mean things to a total stranger who hasn't offended you, you know. So there are those type of comments that I do not care about at all, and I don't delete them. I actually don't delete them. People come in, if they see them, they deal with those bad comments on my behalf because abantu basanobuntu, people are still so kind and you know. So it really, that when I change my perspective on why do I assume people are looking at me because I look not nice, things change. I'm like, hey bro, now I'm looking at people, so what gives me the right to look at people? Don't I look at people? And obviously we all look at each other, you know. So why was I so frustrated that people were looking? Because I thought baboni ntembi, because I thought angikho muhle. I thought I looked ugly. I thought I wasn't happy with the change. I wasn't happy with the skin, the body I was in, you know. So I was just projecting on people, you know. So yeah, shout out to Bongi for also changing my perspective. And you know, she's the one person that drags me out of the house a lot in Nigeria. She's like, "Asabi, let's go. And she really encouraged me to just embrace my skin. Yeah, but just drop them. It's too hot to wear makeup, so let's just go. Put on your sunscreen, put on your hat, let's go. You know, she was she was my true passion. She's the best. She's actually the best. She used to call me her polar bear because I had like brown patches or brown skin melanin around my eyes. So it resembled the polar bear, you know. But I'm grateful I had that support structure around me because we would just be, she's like, hey boss, you know, like what our Nigerian would say atin, hey bo, when some ever like come on, like who cares? She's like, why do you care? These people don't know you. You're in a foreign country. Like, why are you so stressed about what people think? And well, those people probably won't see me ever again. You know? So, Jay, shout out to Bongi for really being a sister and a half to me. Um, yeah. This thing that I want to talk about now, ibuhlungu. Ibuhlungu phela, but it was very painful. I'm fine now. I think because I can even talk about it now. You know, I think this is the final step of the healing journey in this department. You know, this journey. So I may have been bullied out of a job in China because of my skin, but God will definitely restore what was taken and lost. I went to China with high hopes of making money and not letting my university certificate go to waste. But I was in for a painful, painful, painful rejection. How then was I meant to be positive and happy about how I looked when I was made to feel like I have a contagious disease? Spending a lot of money on the preparation of moving to Asia, getting there, and then things falling apart quickly. Hi, guys. You know, um, I had told myself I wouldn't speak on this, but I don't think I would be doing myself. I think I would be. I think I would be doing myself a disservice by not being truthful, about it. Um, I went to China. If you saw, I think I posted a vlog or two in China, but I didn't say anything about what I was doing there. Um, Maybe a part of me knew, so I didn't want to announce early. I wanted to announce when everything was settled. But, you know, I was bullied out of a job in China because of how I looked ultimately. And unfortunately for me, I was caught up with a terrible school, with a bad reputation, you know. So I don't want to dwell on the China thing, but do you understand how horrible I would have been feeling about myself and my skin? Because I felt like because of this skin, I have lost out on a big opportunity to make money, a big opportunity to to tick off my bucket list, to tick off my goals. You know, if you know anything about traveling, you know it's expensive. You know how much more when you are traveling with the purpose of living in a certain country. You prepare a lot, you spend a lot of money goes into the preparation of working abroad. So my dismay coming back without the bag that I wanted to secure. Hey, hi guys, no man, the skin. I've really been through a lot. Rejection because of how you look. Even when you've got like results from the doctors that this thing is not contagious, it's just a skin issue. But anyway, I'm a China Velek. I was tanned. Whether my skin was normal, what I saw in China, China, they just tolerate us, but abasithandi, futhi ngeke basithande. Futhi a lot of people are depressed in Asia. A lot of people are depressed, and I feel like people don't, the influencers speaking on international jobs, they don't share that side. They don't share that light. The stories that I heard from my fellow Africans that I met there, everyone has a story to tell. From Ubaba that I met on I think he was 50 something, Baba Njogdala, uhloniphekile, okade utisha South Africa for years. Retired, he went there. The treatment that he got, kuningi, there's a lot of stories, and all of them, it's just mainly because you're black, your skin tone may be too dark, and I don't understand because these people interview you. But anyway, Asiko Lab, that's a story for another day, another vlog. But do you understand the darkness that would have been over me or in me at that time? Uguti, I've lost out on something that I was working so hard towards just because of how I look. How then was I meant to love the skin that I was in? Kanjan. So I'm really grateful to my mom, my sisters, and my husband who really just stood by me, stood with me. My husband for even letting me go, because he was like, you know what? You've been talking about this China thing since like 2020. Just go, do it, because I know you want to do it, but we don't need that money. By the grace of God, we don't need that money. Go though. I don't want you to say I didn't give you the opportunity. I didn't support your dreams. I didn't support the things you want to do. And I'm glad I went, because I feel like I would still be in I wonder if I went. I wonder if I pursued that thing, what would have happened. So I'm glad I went, because I saw what I saw. Yeah, but sivalekile sasikhala. How do you say it in English? I don't know, but I'm over that. I'm glad I went. I saw. I didn't conquer, but I came back alive, and I'm fine. I'm happy today. So when my mom and my husband just like, come back home, my mom's like, mbuye ekhaya, angaze ushone lapha eChina sebekuphosa ngamawindi, buya nje, it's okay, it's not the end of the world, come back home. My husband's like, come back, my love, come back home, come back home, it's fine, you'll be fine, everything is okay, I've got you, we've got this. Jay, you are fine. You were fine before you left, you'll be fine now. It's all good. It's all good, So I'm really grateful for them. My sisters sending me money. Hey guys, I'm so grateful, man. I've seen a lot. Ngibonile, but all's well, ends well, I don't know who needs to hear this, but God will carry you. And I'm just thinking, I used to feel so bad. I'm just like, what if I didn't have the backbone of my mom and my husband? What if I didn't have that soft landing? What if I had borrowed money, took out loans, and borrowed and borrowed? What would I have done when I'm in a foreign country, rejected because of how I look? What was I gonna do? Because now I'm thinking, oh, can't go back home. I owe these people. I owe this. I owe that. So I think God knows about this thing that they say, which He never gives you more than you can handle. So right, so true. So right, so true. I don't know the lesson. I always believe with everything in Hlabeni, everything that we go through is a lesson, but I don't know what the lesson is with that whole China thing. I don't know if it's a lesson on time, if it's a lesson on appreciation. Maybe I should have just, if I appreciated everything that I had, I wouldn't have gone there to feel that rejection. And guys, I don't know the lesson yet. Maybe it will come to me at some point, but I'm glad that chapter is closed. I'm glad I'm home, blooming as always, and And guys, I'm grateful for everyone that was kind to me, for everyone I met in China, for everyone that, you know, baningi, baningi. Mfana kamshengu is one, Mfana kamshengu, and a lot of other people, you know, Jackie, Mazwane, a lot of people, Zinhle. Thank you guys. Thank you for continuing Ubuntu, for uplifting Ubuntu, for just holding me when I needed to be held in a foreign country, vulnerable. But yeah, anyway, can I tell you guys a fun fact? We're wrapping this up. When I started YouTube, I think in the first video, one of the first few videos, I said, I like how the Kardashians or Abelungu, like white people, how they have like memories, how they capture memories. They have videos, pictures of family growing up, their grandfathers, grandmother, blah, blah, blah. And I said I liked how the Kardashians, like, they still had videotapes of their dad, their late dad who passed away. I mean, I wish I had that. I wish I had videos of my grandparents. I'd love to hear them speak. I never met my grandfather. I wish I could hear his voice. Pictures don't do the same thing, you know. But generally, when I started the thing, I was like, Jay, I want my children to be able to have a place where they'll see me in I don't know why. I was like, I want my children to have a place where they will see me, watch me, you know, just get to know me, see me in my prime, in my youth. Don't. So that's why I started a YouTube channel. I'm like, Gee, so my kids can see me and see a version of me, see me at my youngest, whatever. Hopefully, YouTube doesn't shut down. But that was my thinking. I just want them to have a place where they can come see their mom in action, you know, living her best life. Little did I know, guys, that my skin was gonna change. Not knowing I'm moving from melanin to non-melanin. Guys, God is very funny. Like, so God put it in my heart for me to start this channel. And the main thing I said is I'm doing it so that my children will see me. See me, but am I gonna, not that I thought I would die young, no. So why, now I'm even young, confused. Why did I start the channel? So my children could see me. But wouldn't they see me when I've given birth to them? Cool. I don't know. But God knew that I was going to change. And God knew that I've always wanted my children to see me and know me. See the real me, or the beginning me, or the brown me. Guys, so God put in my heart to get to, hey, God is funny, I'm telling you. So now with the YouTube channel, they'll get to see me in my most original form before the Vitiligo started. And now with the Vitiligo, like, Nkulunkulu works in mysterious ways. God is funny. He's the author and he's the finisher. He knows all. Aibo, what a good God. He knew that I found it so important for people, for identity, yeah, well, for my kids to know me. I don't have children yet, as you know, but when I do have them, I pray YouTube doesn't shut down. I mean, you know, okay, fine, maybe I'll email it to them. I'll just download the videos and send it to their emails and keep the emails, whatever the case may be. But God knew it was important for me so that my children know me. I didn't know I was going to change before I started that YouTube channel. And here I am now. Yeah. God is very funny, I must say. Guys, we've come to the end of my YouTube video, of my rebranding. You guys need to help me out. You need to help me out. I need a new intro. I need something that will make sense to who I am now, the journey I'm on. becoming. Yes, becoming. You know what I mean? So please give me ideas on how to rebrand. Do I change the channel name? Do I start a fresh channel? What do I do? What do I do? Please give me ideas and suggestions. If you watch till the end, please give me a suggestion. Please drop a brown heart for me. A brown heart for me in the comments so that I know you watched till the end. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment about, drop it there and I'll reply. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Please share it with others so that other people who are like me, who look like me, who may be going through change just like me, get to see it as well. Please subscribe, it's free. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. It's so good to be back. And it's so good to be back. Mean. No makeup, no about like no effort, just me. It's a nice feeling. It's a nice feeling. So Sotin umlungu omnyama, from black to white, from brown to from two-toned girls are up, melanin bang. Stini, give me ideas. Umzulu omnyama omhlophe, umlungu omnyama, like, you know, help me out. So I need some suggestions. But on TikTok and on Instagram, I have called myself the Vitiligo Lady. So Zagiti Okonjo, the Vitiligo Lady. I'm taking that name, the Vitiligo Lady, and I'm hoping that I can raise the flag, can raise awareness on vitiligo, what causes it, how to manage it, for those who want to manage it, how to embrace it, and I'm hoping a lot more people do embrace it, and I'm hoping that I can just bridge the gap in the representation area, you know. Representation isn't just about being seen, it's about being embraced, and I'm ready to be a part of that movement, you know. Yeah, bonga guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. See you soon. Ciao. Umlungu Mnyam signing out.